Kylie Minogue years ago did a song called Better the Devil You Know. Come back over here. What are you doing over there? Called Better the Devil You Know. Yeah. Hell, she's a zombie apocalypse. Little Lowie fucking walking up there all over the road. This time of the morning. Pick a side of the road, mate. Yeah, better the devil you know is still choosing evil, isn't it? Now, what do you reckon's going on in America? Do you reckon the plan was to keep ice and to keep going down the road they're on? No. The plan was to go so far extreme in the direction they're going, was to change back to the other party again. Under the cheese, but we're better off with the devil we knew. Bernie Sanders. Oh, Bernie Sanders, he's all, you know, they're all loving Bernie Sanders again. The socialist. Who turned from socialism and became, make no mistake, he's oligarchism. They always claim to be the opposite to what they are. How else do you get yourself up into those ranks? Everyone knows it's bad, claim to be the opposite to it. It's called protecting your assets. Bernie Sanders is a sellout. Him and Michael Parenti were best mates. And Michael Parenti, Bernie Sanders could have done some great stuff, but he sold out years ago. Why do you think he keeps running and then dropping out? The same as Clive Palmer does over here. He runs and then drops out. Like, meow. Steals an awful lot of votes and then funnels them off to the Liberal Democrats. Now the Liberal Democrats are jumping ship and getting in with Pauline Hanson. Well, did the Liberal Democrats really jump ship? You see, all this policy that they've crossed the floor on, which will soon be turned into legislature, bobbed off as law. That was drawn up months ago. That shit doesn't happen overnight. It can't. It's too much. It's too much work. It's not like they sit in Parliament House all night drawing up fucking legislation and policy. By the next morning, it looked like chicken scratch. The same thing's going to happen in England. Oh, this is what you wanted, though, isn't it? This is what you voted for. Geez, where have I heard that? Well, just what they voted for. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nobody voted for what's going on over there now. Nobody voted for what's going on here now. Nobody voted for what's going on in England now, in Europe. And I'll tell you, I already know what's going to happen. Britain's going to have Farage, and the same shit's going to happen there. The pendulum's going to snap back so severely, everyone's going to be wishing they had the devil they knew. The same thing's going to happen here. Donald Trump's still taking everyone's guns off him. He's finding ways around it through the FBI, Cash Patel. Nobody's allowed to take firearms to this place and that place, and he's trying to say that that's constitutional. No, it's not. Not in America, it's not. That's against the First, Second, and I believe the Fourth Amendment. I'm not sure on the Fourth Amendment. You can probably scratch that one out. Well, it's definitely against the First and Second Amendment. Because the First Amendment is supposed to protect the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is meant to be the backstop for the First Amendment. Their freedom of speech and freedom to assemble, and their right to bear arms and to form a well-regulated militia to protect the people from enemies, foreign and domestic. Well-regulated doesn't mean held back. It means well organised. Why do you think America's become so disorganised and all over the fucking place? They don't have a well-regulated militia now, do they? They just got a bunch of people with guns. They're going to have a deregulated militia coming up against a domestic terrorist called ICE. That's what you got. Sorry, America. I was going to play a minute or two. How long? 3 minutes of this, about thereabouts. There's Bernie Sanders. Look at him. I wonder if he's related to Colonel Sanders. He looks like the fucking chook that fucking fell out of the chook that never got cooked.
Be vitiated.
Look at that. Just look at that building, though. Let's go back.
President.
The Senate is in.
What is that? Like, all this Freemasonry shit all through it. Everything. That's a scary looking building to me. I'd walk in there and want to run back out. Yeah. How is it the eagles and stuff always in the square and compass, which is basically it's almost identical to the American Club of Rome, established in 1940s, 1940s, 1942 or something like that. Anyway.
Quorum call.
I request that the quorum call be vitiated.
Without objection, Mr.
Mr. President, once
Like
again,
keel over.
let's be honest. Let us face up to reality and let us acknowledge that most Americans understand that our great nation, once the envy of the entire world, is now in the midst of a deep decline. And for the sake of our children and future generations, we must end that decline and turn this country around in very fundamental ways.
Notice it's always they say our. Why don't they say the people's? Right? Why don't they say the citizens? What, they're in the citizenry? Why don't they say the citizens? It's always our democracy, our children. Do you realise yet that they're only talking about their own? Hey? Bernie Sanders is worried about the government falling over. He's worried about his children, not fucking anyone else's.
Mr. President, not so many years ago, the United States of America was admired, respected by people throughout the world for our generosity, for our concern.
Right, you mean like you're spreading your democracy around the world, destabilising countries and overthrowing governments and occupying their land and installing your regime. Is that what you mean, Bernie? Because like you're starting to sound like you got George Bush's cock in your mouth.
For the poor of the world, for our democracy, for our Constitution, for our rule of law, for our...
Whose Constitution? Yours or the people's? Your rule of law or the people's?
way of life. We were in...
Bang! You just said it.
For the poor of the world, for our democracy, for our Constitution, for our rule of law, for our way of life.
Right there. Right there.
We were
Their way of life. People, you need to distinguish. I'm just going to bang that off there. Because it's painful to listen to. It fucking looks like it's about to keel over. You must differentiate yourself from government to we the people. We the people is not we the British descendant, we the Aboriginals, we the Muslims, we the Christians. It's just we the people. Alright? I'm no better than you, you're no better than me. We're all equal in the eyes of our gods, in the eyes of our creators. We're all equal. Even in Islam, we're all equal. Just don't be a shit cunt. Don't like the sounds that come out of my face hole, toodaloo. Au revoir. Shazam. Be no more. This isn't our democracy. This is their democracy. This is the comment I put. I'm probably going to get a bit of kickback on it. I don't give a flying fig from the fluff tree. Bernie Sanders is a sellout. He's been a sellout ever since. I know nobody here in Australia who wanted to be like the United States of Israel. Well, the United States of America, before everybody knew that it was run by Israel. Ever. We just love your cars, America. And look at Detroit. Not enough said. We loved American cars, and look at Detroit. If it wasn't for Detroit, we wouldn't have had the GT Falcon. We wouldn't have had SLR Toranas. Because guess what the SLR Torana was copied off? The Chevy Monza. I know these things. I'm a panel beater by trade. From old school, muscle car days. You can take the shell off a hatchback Torana and stick it straight on the Chevy Monza floor pan and it fits. Michael Parenti was right about democracy. It'd be a beautiful thing if it belonged to we the people. The United States have never been united, just distracted by a bubble machine like an inbred retarded cat. When Russia defeated the Germans, the US snuck the important ones out of Nuremberg and placed them into government three-letter agencies and N.G.Os and hid them in Argentina, called Operation Paperclip. But don't worry, our government here in Australia have dirty hands too. Operation Matchbox. We've been dictated by a foreign territory ever since 1946 called the Australian government and their illusion of democracy, where they vote for us but not in favour of us. I don't think it's time that we just economic strike. Fuck them. Oh, but we won't be able to eat and won't be able to do that. This is why we need to come together as a community and take care of one another. If you're going to strike and get rid of government, you're going to have to do it properly. You're going to have to do it. There is no easy fix. There is no way of doing this without getting a couple of nosebleeds. You know, this goes out to the nosebleed section. Doodle doodle doo. There's no easy way of doing this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to roll your sleeves up. You're going to have to put some work into it. You're going to have to put your back into it properly. Not like fucking twerkers. You're going to have to work, not twerk. We're going to have to be a bit more tolerant of one another. And a little bit more helpful. We're going to have to sort out the wheat from the chaff. Some of you are going to have to stop being chaff and start being wheat. And make bread. the chaff's going to have to go. The chaff's going to have to go with the government. What's the chaff? It's going to be all the agencies, the N.G.Os that used to be public services. We've got to get rid of the bureaucrats. We've got to get rid of the constabulary. We even have to get rid of the judiciary because they're not adjudicating in our favour. They're just creating revenue. I honestly do believe wholeheartedly, there are plenty of officers that want to do their job right, and they're the ones that all quit all the time. They're like, fucking, I'm not doing this. I actually know a bloke. No. What's his first name? Dale Harvey. He's a painter. He paints houses. Fit to lease or fit to rent or something. Calls himself fit to flip. I don't know. He went through the police academy, and when he finished it, he said, "I'm not fucking going to become a police officer. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I'm not signing up to do this to people. I want to serve the people." Straight up, he went through the police academy and then went, "Nah, I'm not doing it. Not interested in that. That's not how you serve the people." Oh, look what I got. Testing. Wouldn't fucking surprise me. Better playing with the peg. I'm a fiddler. Well, I've got something to fiddle with. What else have we got here? Got a shifter. No, that's why that's not my toolbox. They don't belong in toolboxes. They belong in the bin. America has never been the envy of the world. Just some of the shit they built. They never won, or they never defeated the Germans. Russians did. But Nazism never died. It just became sneakier, more covert. Adolf Hitler was a tool that was used to snap the pendulum so far that when it came back, it didn't even come back to centre. It only came back so far. And then it went underground. I'm not even talking about communism, really. We're talking about Nazism. Michael Parenti was not a Marxist. People confuse, they conflate the fact that he was a scholar of Marxism. He was a Marxist scholar, which means he studied it. He's right? Doesn't make him a Marxist. It just means that he studied it. Michael Parenti was a democratic socialist, where society should have the democracy, not the government. The government is supposed to serve society. It's supposed to serve the public, we the people. So I've had the fucking mental fucking gymnastics I've had to do to undoctrinate myself on socialism. You go back and you'll even find that I've been against socialism even 3-4 months ago. Not completely. You can even go back in time to 10-12 years ago of having conversations with people that I worked with, a manager who's a teacher now. He used to be one of the managers at Woolworth. And very well educated man. He educates non-verbals and special needs kids. The perfect man for the job. Absolutely. And we used to have conversations about communism, socialism, and after reading Mein Kampf and Sun Tzu's Art of War, Red Over Black, Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto. And it's not really so much the name of what sort of government, or the title, the logos that we put on the government that's in control. It's the people in control of the government that matters. Socialism in itself isn't a bad thing, just like democracy in itself isn't a bad thing. It just depends on whose democracy it is, whose socialism it is. Is it the people's society or the government's society? Is it the people's democracy or the government's democracy? You need to start listening to what they say properly. When they say ours, you're not part of their ours. When they say we, you're not their we. They are their we. They are their ours. It's not our ours, it's theirs. So play with words. They're talking to each other. They're making these things and talking to everyone across the nation. Live. And duping you all at the same time. They're talking across the entire world. Those who get it, get it. And those who don't are duped by it. Hoodwinked. Unsere Kampf der Freiheit. I love that saying. We know what Mein Kampf means, don't we? My struggle. Unser, our, Kampf, struggle. Für die Freiheit. Our struggle for freedom. Well, how's your struggle for freedom going? You're losing ground, aren't you? Nazism will take hold by any means possible. And they will use the greatest liars that they have at their disposal, the greatest propagandists. Won't they, Rick Bosey?